We are staying on top of that breaking news, a fire at a strip mall in the East County.
Firefighters are looking into what caused it. It's right along Broadway near Ballantyne Street. And News 8's Evan Narani joining us live in El Cajon. So much damage behind you there. Good morning, Evan.
Good morning. That's right. We just spoke with the battalion chief here who has been here since this fire began closer to about 3 o'clock this morning, saying that 3 to 4 businesses were damaged in the process. And you can see the damage that took place behind us. Now, the good news here is that firefighters have largely come to a halt as far as their water effort. It looks like they've been able to get all of those flames out. And this is especially important in comparison to what those flames looked like just 2 hours ago, or 3 hours ago, I should say, when this fire began. Take a look at some of the video here on your screen. This is in El Cajon on the 400 Street of Broadway. This likely started in a restaurant here in the strip mall is what firefighters believe, but they don't have that confirmed quite yet. What we do know is that the restaurant that is in this strip mall is Cobble Star Restaurant. Right now, as far as the location goes, we're north of the 8 and east of the 67. Fire crews say they, of course, responded to this with a lot of a very strong response. There were close to 10 engines initially when they responded, and had fire crews from Santee, from San Miguel, all over responding to this 3-alarm fire. Now, the good news on hand is that that fire was able to stay contained to the strip mall here. There's a nearby apartment structure that is right on the back end of this that did receive some minimal heat damage when they responded, but take a listen to what that battalion chief told News 8 just minutes ago.
We encountered a large body of fire. It looked like it had been burning for quite some time before it got reported. We did request a third alarm eventually, just because of the amount of work that there was. We had no injuries to any firefighters or civilians, and at this time we're just in the salvage and overhaul stage.
We also did ask that battalion chief as to whether or not there were any problems related to COVID staffing shortages. He did say that, of course, they are going through it right now. However, important to note that all of their engines were able to stay staffed in this process. He said they were still able to provide that full response that was necessary. And of course, the most important part there, that no civilians or firefighters were hurt in the process. Investigators are still on scene. He said the arson crews are also on scene, which is just a typical thing to do with this high amount of value that was lost in this fire, with the possibility of upwards of $1 million lost in this fire. So he says those arson crews are going to be on scene, and investigators are going to try to find out the cause, but they do believe that it is possible, and if not likely, that this fire began in that Cobble Star restaurant that was in this strip mall. In El Cajon, I'm Evan Narani, News 8.
Yeah, so many business owners, employees waking up to find that out. Thank you very much, Evan, for that update. Turning to the latest now on the coronavirus, President Biden says schools should remain open despite the rise in COVID cases. He says school districts have received federal funding to protect kids.
Meantime, more help is on the way for local students who didn't get at-home COVID tests before heading back to class. The County Office of Education says they've received 200,000 tests from the state last night, and today those kits are expected to go out. The tests will be distributed to districts and charter schools on a first-come, first-served basis. Students were supposed to get tested at the end of winter break before returning to school. However, several districts didn't get their tests from the state in time. The state is blaming weather for the delay. Families are invited to a COVID testing and vaccination event in National City this morning.
This comes after hundreds of people lined up to get those at-home test kits yesterday. We brought this to you live. They ran out very quickly, bringing one woman to tears.
My daughter.
Telling people, I'm sorry, you got a car. You walk up. We're going to hook her up. Look, no llores.
So that woman right there who said, we're going to hook her up, that was Mayor Alejandra Sotelo Solis. She found a test for that mother who said she needed it for her daughter. And today's testing and vaccination event, it's mainly for kids who are getting ready for school. They start school next week. So this is happening 6:30 a.m. till 12:30 p.m. at the El Toyon School Auditorium. Another event being held tomorrow at Lincoln Acres Elementary from noon to 6. Stay tuned. Mayor Sotelo Solis will be joining us live on our show here at 6:30.
New this morning, San Diego Unified will require COVID vaccinations for students involved in sports and other extracurricular activities. It also plans to shut down all non-essential and out-of-season activities, such as off-season conditioning. Other school districts around the county, such as Grossmont, Sweetwater, Escondido, and Oceanside, are not changing their policies. Today, a CDC advisory board is set to discuss whether to recommend the booster shot for kids 12 to 15 years old. The FDA already gave its stamp of approval earlier this week. The FDA cited lab studies suggesting boosters improve the antibody response to the Omicron variant. It's also allowing some immunocompromised children as young as 5 years old to get an additional dose. The CDC keeps updating its isolation guidelines as COVID cases rise across the country. The CDC now says anyone who has COVID and can access a test can take one before leaving isolation after 5 days, but it is not needed. If you test negative, the CDC says you can end isolation but continue to wear a mask for 5 additional days.
San Diego County health officials are reporting the region's second highest daily COVID case total. Nearly 7,800 cases were confirmed on Monday. This comes one day after the county reported its highest single-day case total, which reached 8,300, more than that. Hospitalizations surpassed 700, with 122 of those patients in the ICU, and there were 11 new deaths. Right now, local hospitals, they're overwhelmed with COVID patients and staff shortages. The CEO of Scripps Health tells us while hospitalizations, they're not as high as last year, more staff, though, are getting sick now because of Omicron. People are also going to the ER trying to get COVID tests or because of mild COVID symptoms. Some may be asymptomatic. Health officials say do not go to the ER for COVID tests. Meantime, some people are waiting for hours at these COVID testing sites. Stores are selling out of at-home kits. President Biden says stores are restocking, and starting next week, insurance companies will be required to reimburse customers for those tests. So save those receipts. The president also says 500 million free tests will be available to order online, though not until later this month.
This morning, a Poway man is facing charges after allegedly attacking workers at an Orange County vaccination center. This happened last week in Tustin. According to the LA Times, the man called health workers murderers. He also reportedly punched people. One person had to be taken to the ER, but is going to be okay. The suspect has been charged with battery and resisting arrest. This morning, a local social media influencer accused of murdering 2 people in an East Village high-rise could learn if his trial moves forward. Ali Abulaban is charged with killing his estranged wife, Anna Marie, and her friend, Rayburn Barone, last October. Prosecutors say Abulaban's wife kicked him out, then he installed an app on their 5-year-old daughter's iPad that allowed him to eavesdrop. Abulaban had a big following on social media where he would post comedy skits. Former Chabad of Poway Rabbi Israel Goldstein has been sentenced to 14 months in prison. He was convicted for engaging in a series of fraudulent schemes, including tax fraud. Goldstein received national attention in the aftermath of the 2019 Poway synagogue shooting, where he was shot along with 3 others, including Lori Gilbert Kay, who died of her wounds. Kay's daughter spoke after the sentencing.
The ways in which he exploited my mother's murder after the shooting, using her out to be a martyr and lying about what happened, and trapezing around the entire country and the world, promoting peace and forgiveness and elevating his status as a hero.
Goldstein was also ordered to pay nearly $3 million in restitution to victims. As you step outside here, it is another chilly start, but not quite as chilly as yesterday.
Yeah, we have a little warm up, and we do have, this high pressure that's going to be building over the next couple days. So get ready for even nicer afternoons. It's been nice with the sunshine each afternoon, right? Our view right now, of course, still showing the darkness. We're waiting for that sun to come up here in about 40 minutes from now. So as you see, clear skies downtown San Diego. Our satellite imagery not even showing a cloud in sight. So overall, California, now that ridging will be building over us. Here's an area of low pressure that's getting rain and snow up in the Pacific Northwest, but because of our clear conditions, we do start off with a chill, but we will warm up. 37 in Escondido, you're at freezing in Ramona, 38 in Poway, 39 in El Cajon, downtown at 43. Chula Vista, you're waking up to 45 degrees, 5 degrees warmer than this time yesterday. We're pretty much warmer all around, mainly because our afternoon highs also got warmer, so we're just kind of all moving upwards. Here's a look at the next 12 hours where you definitely see that upward movement. By 8 o'clock this morning, upper 40s, upper 50s by 10. Here we are looking at the warmest time of the day, 2 o'clock, 67 degrees. And then we, of course, move on downwards. Once that sun sets, of course, that's more jacket weather. Another night, though, of clear skies tonight. Afternoon highs for El Cajon, 71, 68 in Poway, 69 in Escondido, 66 for you in Vista. So you may be tempted to head to the beach. You see all that sunshine, why not go surfing? We have 2 to 4 foot waves with a potential of 5 footers. The water, though, whew, that's thick, full wetsuit weather, 57 degrees. That's cold for me. Looking at traffic here, and yes, we do want to catch you up on what's happening right there through Chula Vista. The 5 northbound side, number 1 lane is blocked. There's that crash at J Street, so speeds are really crawling just behind it. If you are headed northbound, you may want to exit before J Street and go around.